Yes, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, live from Arnold's Drive-In and Milwaukee Fried Chicken Stand, You Wanted to See It brings you one of the most exciting events it's ever been our privilege to bring.
Okay, kids, Arnold's is proud to present Kenosha, Wisconsin's own
TC and Jake.
Hey, folks, it's the last podcast of the year. Because after this, I'm going to Colorado. Gonna get me a motorcycle. Hell yeah, dude. That's what it's about.
That is my favorite thing about weed becoming legal in Colorado is like if you're a coworker or like your uncle, you happen to talk to him and he's like, "Oh, so where are you headed?" And you're like, "Oh, we're headed to Colorado." I feel you, dude. Burn up, blaze up. I'm like, yeah, no, I definitely can't get it here. It's going to be huge.
Thanks to a faithful podcast listener who I deeply appreciate, the family was able to snag some Rose Bowl tickets, college football playoff semifinal game tickets. That's what they say on the shirts. I don't know if you've tried to buy a Notre Dame shirt. It says college football playoff semifinal game.
The big game.
What was Barry Bonds' name in all the video games?
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
No, I mean they made Jordan SG number 23.
Yeah, Piemonte Calico for my FIFA heads out there.
No thanks.
But you love FIFA, dude. If you were gonna get into football or get into playing a video game, I bet it would be FIFA.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Did you get your PS5 yet?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you remember. We did the whole thing, huh?
Okay, I don't know. I thought, I don't know if you had it unboxed and everything. I still owe you $500, so.
Yeah. Which, again, if you want to get away with not paying that, just don't bring it up again. I had forgotten since the last time we had talked.
I forgot you were, I forgot you talking about this.
But, yeah, so my parents have these tickets, and they called my cousin and was like, "Would you like to go?" And they were explaining the dynamics and everything, and he's like, "TC's not going?" And they were like, "No, he had a previously scheduled trip to Colorado." And yeah.
Immediately.
He's like, "Oh, so they didn't legalize weed in Texas yet?"
Blaze up.
Correct. But yeah, so we're after this going over to our friend Jordan's studio to hang out, see it, just get the experience. And the last time I did that to make those Quaker City videos, our friend Sam was there of the Quaker City Nighthawks, and we were driving around getting some sweet footage at night or at sunset, and he was like, "You guys got to see this sunset through these glasses I have." And so he was just handing them around the car. And it was a life-changing experience. I might be exaggerating that a little bit.
Game changer?
But yeah, definitely a game-changing experience.
Yeah.
But I'm interested. I'm always interested in the dynamic of Sam in general, he makes music and is famous for doing so, as a living. And I feel like that has clearly created rules in the social dynamic that apply to him that don't apply to me. He has an amazing, beautiful hat collection.
Yeah.
And if I showed up in one of those, I would hear about it from the two of you every day for the rest of my entire life.
Yeah, I mean, you could really pick any article of clothing on
that
his
he's
body.
ever worn.
Yeah, and you would never hear the end
if
of
I
it.
ever showed up, I'm just thinking about the one time that Jake got a haircut, and for the next month, it was like, haircut guy, huh?
Yeah.
But
vice versa. I don't know that. I mean, if he showed up wearing the sweatpants you're wearing today, his career would be over. He's just he's got an affect to keep up.
I get it, but I put on those glasses one time, and I was like, "This is gonna be tough. I can't go back." It's like if I kissed a dude and I liked it,
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is. So that wasn't what I was hoping for, but I'm going to have to lead the life I'm going to have to lead. So since I know that I'm going to be out there anyways, I'm going to have to buy into this at some point. So
you brought us some glasses. Okay, thank you.
I purchased a pair of prescription red shaded lenses. And this is me now, guys.
Wow. It matches your pants.
Hey, thank you.
See, red, I think maybe you could do, but I was just gonna say that like there can really only be one tinted glasses guy in each crew.
You're
Like,
right. Yeah.
Because now I'm just like, oh,
Classic.
cool, Sam.
Only one fedora per group.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to be bow tie guy.
Oh, that's available.
yeah. No one's tried that yet. No, but it like, every time he wears them, they look cool. I don't look in the mirror and I'm like, there's a suave dude who's definitely pulling it off. But like, I mean,
I don't know.
It's tough because these are prescription and like my prescription stuff. But try this for 2 seconds, dude.
Yeah. No, let's see what I got.
Tell
here.
me you don't like it.
Do I got to buzz the lens?
You can if you want to.
How do we feel?
You like looking out of it? You're
Yeah.
saying not the way you look.
Yes, exactly. Like seeing everything in the world like slightly red. Like I can't describe it.
Like the Matrix?
It's very fucking cool. Like all the colors are a little different. And the number one thing I thought in like, that's what this week is about is I was like, I gotta do this fucking tripping. Like that's gonna fucking take it up a couple levels.
Yeah, man. I think with the like the gray blonde beard, that I would actually absolutely buy a snowboard from you right now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Did I retire?
I think it looks good. Of the three of us,
Yeah.
I'm saying him. Yeah. Surf lessons, okay.
That plus the light hoodie. Yeah, that looks
Yeah.
awesome.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if that's my look or not. I don't know that I have one, but that looks great on Dan.
I don't think it's my look. I just
It is an
love
You're right.
Yeah.
Just the whole. I don't know if it would be like that forever. I guess you're going to find out.
He always
Yeah.
seems like he's in a pretty good mood. So everything having a slight amber tint to it.
Yeah, the level of enthusiasm that I came with, Sam like didn't see like he was fully encouraged. Like he was like, "Yeah, dude, this is what it's like being me all the time." And I was like, I want that. I need to live that. So this is me, and I am gay.
Okay.
So
That would actually probably be like the last thing we could do to juice up podcast numbers.
get gay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know that you get, but like if you just said this is
Choose it.
My journey is my journey, Jake.
Okay. Sorry. Here on me, I thought it would be funny when I was reading this morning about people fighting over the checks. If David Stein had a day of the week called Means Test Monday.
Means tested Monday.
Because everyone's fighting over whether or not they can give the checks because it's going to help people who aren't poor. Because
Yeah, I mean, I hate that.
yeah, and of course, if Congress could pass something that would simply only help poor people, they would be.
Yeah,
They're
then
typically very on board with
full
that.
enthusiasm, of course.
I thought if just in my head I was laughing thinking of David Stein going to the phones here on Means Testing Monday.
Every time when you call up, we're gonna
5.
need a pay stub and
Drug
if it's
test.
not what we like, you're not getting on.
Right. How many fathers to your children?
Yeah.
The whole nine.
Yeah. But yeah, so I we've got not a like super compressed amount of time, but I've got a lot to get through here. So let me just ask you, Dan, what do you know about Hilaria Baldwin?
Is that someone related to someone that Jordan knows?
No, he's met
'Cause he knows
Hilaria
some
Baldwin, or he's met Hilaria Baldwin's stepmother or stepdaughter.
Right.
Okay.
Hillary.
She is Ireland's stepmother, which makes her Alec Baldwin's wife.
Hilaria Baldwin. And I didn't know anything about this. He texted me last night. He's like, well, I think we got enough with the Baldwin thing.
Yeah,
And I was like,
he
I don't
told stories about hanging with the Baldwins.
Jordan did. I'm
Jordan
saying
did,
TC
yeah.
texted me last night, and I'm, hey, should we have Dan on? How should we work this out? He's like, I mean, it's fine if we have him or not, because we have plenty with the Baldwin thing. And I don't feel like I've been like unplugged for the last week. I feel like I've basically just still done work stuff and not like I've been online, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't have any idea what you're talking about right now. And a very quick cursory search this morning, I felt very Easter baskets.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know what that is.
I
to
keep
tell you
on
the
saying
truth,
Hilaria, which I apologize for. It's Hilaria.
which
She
will become important. I
goes
think.
over that several times. But yeah, so I ran into this because I was I follow Michael Hobbs, one of the co-hosts of You're Wrong About, because I like You're Wrong About so much. and he had
he's great.
a quote tweet. Thank you, Jake.
Could be gay.
He might be.
I was talking to my boyfriend the other day. Same sort of deal as not knowing chicken of the sea is tuna, and I told him, like, did you know that SZA, or what's her name? Sia is Australian. He's like, yeah.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's like, same sort of deal, dude. Your analogies are extremely relatable.
To some people they are.
Yeah.
Would you like to give me any other biographical details about Sia?
She got funny hair.
Okay, there you go. I don't have any other either. I wouldn't be able to fact check them if you did. But yeah, so he quote tweeted a tweet, and he said like, suddenly an internet wormhole opens up in front of me, or like a rabbit hole opens up in front of me. And I read through the thread and was like, yeah, okay, that's interesting, I guess. But he seems to be considerably overstating how interested one could get in this topic. And that was 4 days ago, and I haven't thought about anything else since.
Oh, wow.
Just entirely consuming my brain.
So
it's a rich
remember when
text.
I said
There's
it's
a lot
means
there.
testing Monday?
Yeah.
You're not getting the money from the government. I just decided that whatever you're doing with your life while you're unemployed, you don't deserve to be paid. You're going to have to break rocks.
My lawyers are going to make the best argument they can, but I don't know if they're going to succeed in defeating you there. But so the original tweet was, you have to admire Hilaria Baldwin's commitment to her decade-long grift where she impersonates a Spanish person. So in addition to being Alec Baldwin's wife, like when he met her, she was running like a bunch of yoga studios. And I don't think that they were like the top yoga studios in New York. Like it's not like she was independently famous, but she was running these yoga studios. And she's 26 years younger than he is.
All right.
How do you feel about that?
I always like that. Yeah.
But I think that's less important or less contextual than saying 62 and 36. Right? Like 26, like whatever. I mean, you could say like if you were
she
74.
Was 28 when they met.
Right.
So I think that even is more stark.
36, you say?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that feels like, because again, if it's like 80 and 54.
It feels like once you get in your 30s, though, maybe even 35, and maybe that's just at the age I'm at where it still seems fine. If they were in their 20s, that would seem really weird.
Yeah, I think 35 is the cutoff.
I was kind of thinking...
But I think 60 might be a different cutoff.
You're pretty mature. You are who you are when you're 35.
Like if right now you got divorced and a year from now you told me you were dating somebody who was 36, I wouldn't find that weird, because we have a friend who did it. It is currently,
What if she was 26?
That would be I would find that objectionable. Yeah.
See, I was thinking like at the specific age 28, like I definitely, like, I don't know.
Dude, that's bad.
In my new life, I feel like I could marry Dan. And like he's considerably older than me. Like I feel like
He's not 26 years older than you.
He's not 26, but I'm just saying, like, would it be that different if he was 10 years older than he is? Like, I feel like I don't know.
You don't have any more growing to do. You're already a wise old.
I'm going to be growing forever.
I would die that much sooner, and you'd get the money.
Yeah,
which is
that would
certainly
be nice.
Part of Hilario's calculus here.
Gotta be.
I'm sure he's a great guy to talk to.
Yeah, he seems like a real peach. Yeah.
But he was hot. So this is what
might say
hot guys should have.
And I find him to be horribly obnoxious. I think he's still hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a silver fox now.
He's a good-looking guy.
He's a very good-looking guy.
And I mean, if you want to guess whether or not she's
in your 20s,
attractive.
I'm positive she is.
Yeah.
And the yoga thing.
Yeah. So.
Am I right, guys?
But
man.
since she's married him, she has become like her own kind of thing.
She has a brand now.
Yeah. It's very mom-centric. They have 5 kids together.
That sound you hear is a knife to the pie.
You're slicing up the Alec Baldwin pie?
Yeah.
There's probably going to be enough left. Hunt for Red October.
Do you have trouble talking to TC right now? Like I smile when you look directly at me because
I got to be honest.
you got that mustachy thing. It's a little tiny.
I got to be honest. I accepted this like 10 seconds after he put it on, and now I'm just vibing.
He's like 70s porn kind of guy, and I'm liking it.
I'm not having a problem with it at all.
I like hanging with a 70s guy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your dealer. You might stop by.
Yeah, for sure.
Now he's making us hang out while he goes and gets the stuff laid out.
Yeah. Check out my new PS5.
Yeah, I'll give you the price for a lid.
Can you grow a beard?
No, not at all.
Oh, no.
Absolutely not.
Do you shave?
Yeah, I mean like once a week.
Okay, it's interesting.
It's unfortunate. I wish I could. I would wear a beard if I could.
How long have you grown that mustache?
Like a month?
Okay. I don't think I
Might be more than a month.
can have a bushy mustache, but when you grow it all together, it's okay. But yeah, okay.
It's kind of a beating. I have to do this every 3 days.
Or 2 days, or it just looks
Super rough. And this I probably have to do every 3-4 days with a trimmer, or it just
The only place where like it grows uniformly and thickly is like this like patch, like the size of my thumbprint, like just like off of my lip. Like
Interesting.
It's
Like a
very
little Fu
fucking
Manchu?
like the only place. Yeah, like but not on the other side.
What are you Harvey from Batman?
I don't even notice.
I don't know.
I don't notice the mustache at all, unless you're wearing the glasses. And now I see it all together.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's how it's supposed
Before
to be.
you put on the glasses, you were just TC, and
Yeah.
now you've got this whole outfit.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Where
I've got
were
a thing
you?
going.
We're in the middle of a cool story.
So
about
she's-
Alec Baldwin's wife.
Alec Baldwin's wife, like as part of this, like I'm a yoga, like spiritual, like she's
Mom.
kind of got it's a little bit like the Goop scam that Gwyneth Paltrow's running. It's got that kind of feel to me. So as part of that, like she'll be on like the Today Show. She's a correspondent for like Extra News or whatever, like one of those celebrity.
Okay.
Kind of
But she
shows.
got the job on her own merits. She's just very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And she's got a podcast, believe it or not. And so
does Eddie Robinson.
We found that out the other day on his 100th birthday.
oh yeah,
Yeah, he's got like
no
6
lie,
or
dude.
7 of them out. You got to listen.
He just tells
before
like a
they-
20-minute
I
story.
Story about some cool baseball history thing.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
He promoted his podcast. Hey, let me plug my podcast.
Lincoln's
Rate and subscribe.
he did he?
No.
The story of why I wouldn't give my mitt to
Oh, he hasn't done anything on that one.
Larry Doby.
Why was it? I wonder. I'm sure it was a principled objection that had nothing.
I think
to
it was a
do-
left-hand, right-hand thing.
Yeah. You know, you can't tolerate those kinds of people. Right-handers.
Right-handers, right.
So she's got, you know, she's been in public. She gets interviewed. Like she has a public profile, and the profile is very Spanish centric. She's been on the cover of Hola magazine twice. She was like at the launch of like another kind of like People Latin America or something like that. She
And her name sounds pretty
Right, especially if you say
Hispanic.
it as
Eladio and not Hillary.
yeah.
Are you about to say her name is Hillary?
Her name is absolutely Hillary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's from the suburbs?
So here's a little clip.
Few ingredients. We have tomatoes. We have
This is her doing a cooking segment on the Today Show.
tomatoes. We have how do you say it? Cucumbers. We have red pepper.
Goddamn stunning.
How you say a cucumber?
And then starts to say in English.
Yeah.
Like, and so there's all kinds of interviews where she's like, yes, you know, Spanish is my native language.
¿Cómo se dice cucumber?
I speak Spanish with the children, which, like, I think she does speak Spanish. She does clearly speak Spanish. I think that she does speak Spanish with the children. But the idea that Spanish is her native language is obviously false.
Yeah. That's literally impossible to fake.
One of the ways
You'd have to be the CIA, right? Like that's like the type of training you need to be able to throw your first language.
Yeah.
I really do not think that there's any person who has not been formally trained by a spy agency that could throw that. Because a native speaker would immediately pick it up, right?
Totally lose
No, yeah,
Yeah.
Not only totally lose, I'm saying fake which one was first.
Okay.
I really do not think that's possible.
Well, it's easy to do in a short segment of today's show. If you just say
How you
how
say?
you say in English, cucumber. It's pepino, I believe, right? Pepino?
That sounds right. Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's correct.
You lived in Mexico, man.
I know it was a long time ago.
I don't recall seeing a single cucumber in Spain, but I
I've
do
never
think
had
you're
that.
right.
I've never used that word.
Yeah.
But
Polio.
so
Right
her she's I don't know if she said there was some like Google thing that the initial author of the tweets found where it claimed that her father, she admits, is American, but her mother is Spanish.
Yeah.
And then like they find like a video of her mom, clearly not Spanish.
Not even from Spain, like nationality Spanish.
No.
Sally Sturm, Spanish?
She's like 5th generation Massachusetts native.
I knew she was from Massachusetts, but I wasn't sure.
I'm
if
saying
it
like
was...
the mom is. The mom
Oh, wow,
goes
okay.
way back, like Massachusetts.
So this is a different twist on the person that just starts using a British accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think Madonna ought to be able to do that.
Why?
I don't know. She's
You married
Madonna.
Well, I mean, there's two things about that. One, that's bullshit. And two, she never said she was from England.
I'm not okay putting limits on Madonna.
I mean, Drake does this. Like, he steals types of music and changes his accent for songs, but somehow that feels a little more okay than actually saying you were born elsewhere for financial gain.
See, yeah, I don't even know it's financial gain. I think it's just like,
She's nuts.
yeah. I mean, I don't,
Yeah, but she's filling a space.
Which is what?
Not getting on the
she was
cover of
just
Hola
another-
magazine otherwise.
Yeah, if she was another white celebrity wife.
Well, let me allow you to dream for a second. What if that space were filled by an actual Spanish person? Is there any scenario where like the places for like, I
Well,
don't
no
know.
one was stepping up.
If like we need someone to play an Asian female, like if that space could be filled by not ScarJo.
Give me a second.
That's hard.
Do you think I'm not recording the whole time?
Yeah, the entire time we've not had Dan. Talk now.
Yo.
I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. I'm sorry, guys.
Maybe you can hear me in the background of your mic.
Probably not.
I didn't talk a lot.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll do what I can do with it. We'll do our best.
Well, in case we're starting here.
No, let's
should say
not
hello.
start here.
Oh.
Because we don't have time. We don't have time to start over. So I'll
He
just
hasn't been
record
talking
thing.
a lot.
Want to bail
Yeah.
on the Normathon?
We can't do that, dude.
No, don't bail on the Normathon. We'll make the best of it. I can figure this out. So
If only I would have got here early enough. Oh, wait, that was you.
Ooh, spicy.
No, it's
Pepino.
because we changed whenever you said you couldn't hear yourself and I unplugged and I replugged. that's
Okay.
Keep
that
all
thing.
this in.
I'm going to.
Okay.
So that everyone can
I
understand.
love when you guys you do this a lot. It's like, all right, we're going to probably have to get rid of this. And then you say something and it's you've never,
You don't
maybe I've
know.
heard you beep a thing or two.
You don't know.
Yeah, I suppose you might
Every
just
time
edit
that
the
we
hell
get
out
rid
of
of
He's
it.
really
it, we
good at
just
it.
get rid of it. But yeah, so the question of like what's like the ethics here, like so whenever I'm around someone who talks in a distinctive way, I absolutely pick up the way that they're talking. And it's a very subconscious thing. Like I've only noticed it. Like I started noticing it at Excel because there was a lot of kids there with different accents because they would come from different places in the country. And like, there'd be like, I'd have to shadow one of them where like they're around me 24/7. And I would notice I started to talk like them. Like it was hard to miss. And it's a very like, you're going to have to take my word for it. I don't mean to do it. Like, it's not like I'm in my head thinking, like, that's a cool way to talk. I wish I could talk that way. And so I'm going to try to. It's entirely subconscious. So I kind of get that, like her just being like I could see how you would sort of slip into it. Because here's an important piece of information. Her dad, who has been in America since like his family's been in America since like the colonizers, like before it was a country. So he is super American. But he like studied Spanish literature, and I think they like have a vacation home there. They might have like retired to there. So like that's where that's like the actual root of this is that her family does
she's
appear.
been to Spain a few times.
Yeah, and like her parents live in Mallorca.
Yeah, now.
They retired there like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe she's dated a dude extensively.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that rubbed off on her a little
prior Alec dating history.
I'm just trying to support her.
So, I could see
From your
like,
slander.
She legitimately has spent some time in Mallorca. I could see being like, this place is fucking dope. I love it. Like, I want to adopt this as my identity. Like, I feel like I'm my best me in Mallorca. So I'm just going to take a little bit of Mallorca with me by talking this weird ass way.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack here, which is the most cliched phrase of like 2019, so I should have probably dropped it then. But what you're talking about with kids that you were around, that is, as you said, it's subconscious, and it was happening to you also at a young and impressionable age. I see this with my wife every single time we go back to Louisiana, and I sometimes even see it when they come here. By the second day, she sounds more like them than she did when they got there.
And about 4 drinks.
Dude,
usually.
honestly, seriously, it happened the Saturday we woke up last time. They were making breakfast, and I heard her talking and was like, there it is.
Cajun.
I mean, she doesn't,
Ish.
it sounds like 10% less like her and more like them, but that is how she grew up. And, I think that this has always been a deal with like white kids who grew up in, quote, hip hop culture, even if they grew up in the suburbs. That, just the things that you're around and the way you hear people talking, that rubs off on you. Now, does that mean you're a phony? You could say that, but I do think it's subconscious. This goes a step further and fakes a birthplace, which she has done several times.
Currently on her agency's website.
Okay, on her profile, yeah.
It says that she was born in Mallorca.
Yeah, and then from there, I think she might have changed it to... maybe like she went there for 10 years or something to study as a kid or something. Like she's been doing the slow drip of lies for a long time. That's different than, oh, damn, it's weird. I've been around my country family for this 2 weeks in the summer and now I speak like this. It's not only psychopath shit. The problem is that this turns into like our Spanish people white, which is like a whole other conversation. And I'm, for the first time in full, not audio listening to it, reading the Ta-Nehisi Coates book that he wrote to his son. And very early on in that, he breaks down like the idea that a big part of the problem we have in this country is that people that we think of as white have created the idea that they are white. Whereas however many hundred decades ago, it was not seen as a monolithic thing. Yeah. Right? Like that you're Italian, Jewish, Irish, whatever.
That's still like here. Like it's an American specific thing because like, Brexit occurred, in my understanding, at least some part because like we got to get all these fucking Polish people out of here.
Exactly. It's still a thing outside of America more. But my point is that this is, again, a person who is very clearly has all the familiar signs, as Chappelle would say, of a Caucasian, as we would normally call them, who is glomming onto the culture of something that they have nothing to do with, save for the fact that their dad mastered in it.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, borderline racist.
Yeah. So I want to like be clear, like what I'm trying to establish is like the behaviors that like seem a little weird, but like I get it. And then the behaviors that it's like, all right.
And I would even give it
maybe she
get
should
it
be
again
in jail.
if her family did have Spanish heritage, because there are families that grow up that way and they continue to have those traditions passed down 5 generations later. They still have that sort of Christmas or that sort of
like Izzy is probably going to be inclined to make tamales at Christmas, and that's going to look weird.
Yeah,
because she doesn't look Mexican at all.
Right,
but her grandfather is, and his family, they when growing up made tamales at Christmas.
Right,
not to that's just it's the most stereotypical example, but it is true. They do make tamales at Christmas.
They have it right.
But you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so
do you get like the Bob will brag about being able to get some benefits for his kids?
Yeah, she probably could. She's like, a quarter Mexican.
Like they'll get into colleges easier and that.
She could probably apply to for a Latino scholarship if she wanted to.
Definitely. Right. I was crushed when I found out that my my native heritage was about 2 generations shy of being able to give me any sort of which means there. It was like 1/122nd.
Weren't the Irish oppressed? How come I can't get anything? Everybody gets something but me.
That's
the white man. Once again.
Let's talk more about this later. You've got a sympathetic ear here. But
I knew I would.
Here's Hilaria on a podcast this year.
So you say you get accused of being an attention seeker.
This podcast, I didn't finish it, but I was listening to it on the way here. The entire thing, stunning. I would say that you should listen to it, except obviously you shouldn't. The Mike quote, "There is no sound more annoying than the female voice," is just running through my head the entire time. And I'm sorry. Cut this out. Cancel TC. It must just be a different experience, because I'm sure that people listen to this podcast. It's called #MomTruths. So, do you want in yet?
No.
I don't have your subscribe at this point.
I also heard 5 seconds of her talking.
Yeah, just
because they're not going to tell truth.
No.
If they were,
they wouldn't have put a hashtag first.
About all the stuff moms are really thinking about. Yeah.
The neighbor.
Dude.
And the other neighbor.
I just
at the same time.
The neighbor boy.
Of age.
Like,
we're not laughing about.
It's a boy.
He's an adult son.
What do you mean he's a boy though?
Luckiest boy in the world.
No.
He just turned 18.
Parody law, yeah.
17 in Texas.
Yep.
Do you love 17 in Texas, guy? Okay, dude. It's all a bit anyway. You don't have to go inform me that
go through any of the states and he'll tell you. In South Carolina, it's 16.
When'd you meet?
I don't know.
Paper trail?
I've done everything. There's been a 24-hour period where no other parents were around my child. So I feel like I can pretty clearly say that at this point I know what the mom experience is like. And just to hear them talk about it as we're just back from the war, I can't take it, dude. It's about as difficult as, I don't know, having a job. I've tried both. It's similar. I don't know. Megan does a lot. I really appreciate it. If you add up the total time spent with the child, I'm pretty sure it's 50-50 or better in my favor.
The reason they overrate the difficulty is because they never escape from it.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Especially stay at home, or if you're
the hardest thing you've ever done is always the hardest thing you've ever done.
But, because we come home from work and now you have to have dad time, but that's giving me a break. But her thing is it's either mom or working as a mom, or now it's mom time. That's all a blurred line. So that's why it seems
easy.
It seems like it's a 24-hour thing.
And that's the thing is, he was saying something different than you were when you said they never escape from it. What he meant is you've never had a job. Whenever he said the hardest thing you've ever done is the hardest thing you've ever done, I knew what you meant, because that's the part. Yeah, you're fucked up. That's the part.
Yeah, whatever.
That's the part that I find taxing about it is that I like segments of the day.
Yeah.
I like to be
you work, now you
and even
relax.
If I go back to work after relaxing.
Right.
But I don't know, man. Especially the days that are coming where they don't nap. Now you got school. I guess obviously that's what really screws their.
The worst days are
jig.
when they stop going to bed at 8.
Yeah.
Because you can keep that going pretty long.
Yeah.
But it does end, and now all of a sudden that was your time.
You're on the clock.
Yeah.
And that does not sound fun. And I think they should make $264,000 a year for it.
Yeah,
because they're a carpenter, they're an electrician.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying that the fucking SEAL Team 6 has a harder time. So let's reflect that in our commentary. But yeah, so
but hasn't half your time whenever you've been taking care of her, isn't Megan there too?
So the normal schedule, back when she had a job, was that she would go to her mom's to do the job so that she wouldn't have the kid walking in every 2 seconds. So I would just be alone in the house with the kid. Megan's not around.
How many days a week?
I'm not willing to answer that question.
See, that's what I'm saying. Because if you had to do it for
at
like
least 2 every single week.
now he's ready to say like this is actually a pretty easy gig, man.
Yeah, you only gotta watch
every
the kid
3
2 days.
days. Hey, I'm charged up. I'm
No,
ready.
but
I'm fully
are
energized.
you telling me if you do 2 days a week for like months and months and months that you're like incapable of extrapolating that out to more?
Yeah, no, I think it's incapable of like the logarithmic scale of like, boy, by like the 4th or 5th day in a row, I'm just like.
If you do a weekend show, do you think that? Well, you know
I did
what
50
it goes.
weekend shows.
The guys go through Monday through Friday. Then
You got a decent idea.
I don't think that at all.
because
That's what I
as
think
far
it
as
is.
prepping,
It's like,
you can prep 3 hours.
You got a much more
What
accurate
about
idea
3
than
hours
someone
a
who's
day?
never done a show.
A more accurate, yes. So you do have a more accurate idea than TC did 10 years ago on what parenting would be like. But you probably still don't have the point of view of a lady.
I can do almost anything
If you
for
guys
a
think
couple
that there's
days.
no difference between them and Chris Kyle, I guess I'll let you think that. But I'm going to stand out here and say maybe not.
What are they? Aligning himself with the troops was a clever play in this debate.
Well, that is my point. It's not that it's easier, like fucking. It's not easy. It's just about as hard as like most jobs.
And it's not worth 200 and some thousand that Oprah said.
This is coming from.
But it is like a job.
Yeah.
But you can also find many people to do that job. That's the point of getting paid more at a certain job. Is you can't find a lot of people who could do it like you do it.
Hard to do
Guess
well
what?
though. Still hard to do well. I see a lot of parents out there, and it's not like all of them are good at it.
Right. I will admit that.
Yeah,
Sure. But
yeah.
they don't ask for pay based on how much effort or how good they're doing.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
oh, we should get paid that because we're a stay-at-home mom. No. If you can be replaced by, your neighborhood 16-year-old, I don't know that your job is worth $250,000. See, now Jake knows his wife listens and he's not going to say anything.
No, dude, I think what it is that I just think I'm the worst dad in the room because, like, to you guys, it's like, I mean, you guys are having like an easy breezy time with this shit, dude. If I've been with that kid for like 5 days in a row before,
but
and I had help.
Being a janitor sucks too, and it's low paid.
Well, I mean, that's
Okay,
like,
so
again,
it's
that's
a
like
job
a
that
whole other.
sucks, but it's still low paid because a lot of people can do it.
We've got a limited amount of time here, and we have much more Hilaria
all right,
to
go
talk
ahead.
about. So this is my initial point was just that it's not as hard
Do I
as
need
these
to call my wife a
ladies.
bitch or something now to like get my street cred back? Or like, what?
It's not as hard
What's
as these
going on
ladies
here?
make it sound, and I think that if you listen to these ladies for
Jeez.
10 minutes, you would agree with me. But it's 2 ladies who like are like real like they're like we're best friends, and like their identity is that they're each other's best friends. It's,
Yeah.
you know the whole deal.
Yeah.
Maybe you've seen someone like this on A Girl's Gone Wild before.
So when you say you get accused of being an
Jeez, bro.
attention seeker, what would you say like is one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about
Finishing each other's
How
sentences.
great is that?
Yeah, conceptions. Yeah, I know exactly where you're going with
Okay,
that.
so the reason I used to be very, very, very private.
Okay.
Because pre-Alec or without, or like in life, in
Pre-Alec.
pre-Alec, I lived under a rock. I lived under a yoga mat. I literally taught
But
yoga
not from New
every
York, right?
single
In
day.
New York.
In New York, I would start my day at 5.
Okay.
Doesn't sound very Hispanic there.
Yeah,
This isn't even it.
And but seriously, I have to like
No, go
every word
ahead.
I want to talk. Like I
know.
lived under a rock. I lived under a yoga mat. And the little lady's like, but not in New York. No, in New York. I was living in Manhattan teaching
Yeah.
yoga classes, but I was just so private.
Bro, so
I was just as
Such
the
a
dude
hermit.
on Bachelorette said this year. Growing up, I was kind of like a hermit crab. Good God. To my
In New
2.5
York,
million IG followers.
I would start my day at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would finish my day at 10:30 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
Every
That
single
sounds like
day
actually
during the
working.
week, and then on the weekend I would
that's
work
normal.
Saturday morning until Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday
This sounds
midday
legitimately
until
difficult.
Sunday night.
Why did you work so much?
Because I started yoga studios,
That's
and
your
these
own
were our
thing.
studios, and so you have to. You guys know you have to
Gotta
do
grind.
it. If you don't show up, it's not going to happen.
And the other people are often going to not show up. if you
Exactly,
ask
and
them
that's
to
the
be
thing
there.
is that once we start hiring other people, it's like, if they didn't show up to teach the class, guess who had to teach it?
Yeah,
On
you're
top
right.
of
Oh my
my
God, the
schedule, I would
bird.
teach sometimes 10 classes a day. It was a lot, and it's a lot of talking. So that's what I did. And then I met Alec, and I mean, I'm not trying to be like silly about this. Like, I really didn't realize how famous he was, and I didn't know what Page Six was.
I love you.
I didn't.
All right, that's
I had
bullshit.
no
Just like
TV.
Sint not knowing Mark Cuban right
Biggest lie
there.
ever, yeah.
She's not saying she didn't know he was famous. She's saying she's surprised to the degree. And really, when
Bullshit.
she gets more into
Complete
describing
bullshit.
the degree, I'm a little like, he's not fucking Beyonce. Like,
Dude, he was like the.
Nah, but if he walked around town with you, you'd be mobbed
Although
everywhere
I
you
am
go.
kind of trying to
he's
put
not
myself.
Bieber.
Okay.
Like,
No, but
he doesn't have that kind of fans.
I'm trying to put myself in the mindset
no, but
of.
everywhere he goes,
Yeah.
it's like me walking into
Everyone
possibly
knows
ticket
who
stop.
he is, but they're not like they wouldn't like stab someone to go and like be able to like get Alec Baldwin's
Imagine
autograph.
me though, the age I am, and someone at least 50% as culturally aware as I am. Do they know the impact of Alec Baldwin's last 3 decades? Right? Like, because I'm trying to remember that she's 36.
Yeah,
and
but he's,
I
he's
still
still out
think,
there now. He's
Yeah, I think that's yeah.
Yeah, but
30 Rock SNL
I
hasn't kept
understand
his
your,
profile high.
Walked on the moon.
I certainly
Walked on the Moon
understand
wasn't 30
hearing
Rock.
her being like, I didn't even know he was famous. To call bullshit, but yeah, whatever. Still,
That's clearly a play just to say I did not go after him because I thought he was a star.
We're not to the point yet.
Be like silly about this. Like, I really didn't realize how famous he was, and I didn't know what Page Six was.
I love you.
I had no TV. My parents are hippies. I didn't have I mean, I lived in a smaller than this room apartment
In New York?
In New York, and with just like a bed and a dresser and
So you
and
moved
one
here
chair.
with your parents?
No. I moved here when I was 19 to go to NYU. And from my family lives in Spain. They live in Mallorca.
Okay.
So yeah, that would make sense. You wouldn't know
Got a little
the
more.
pop culture of.
Well, I know no pop culture anywhere. Now I'm better.
So she says
Wow.
very directly, I moved to New York at 19 from Mallorca. My family's from Mallorca.
Yeah.
At the, like, you know, whenever she moved to NYU in 2003, or like whenever she started at NYU in 2003. At that time, like, her mom was a doctor at Harvard.
And her dad probably lived in Massachusetts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, and she was
With
coming
him, yeah.
from like a high school in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
To there, and that was this year. Said like, I'm from Mallorca, and then they're like, oh well, you know, if you don't have a TV and you're Spanish, like, then of course you're not going to know who he is. And she does nothing to correct them. She's just like, good point, you know.
Yeah.
Like, she knew who he was because like fucking she was an American living in America, guys.
Yeah, and who's been in New York since 2003.
And she's not self-made. She
No, of course not. Yeah.
apparently was doing fairly well. I'm sure you can't open yoga studios without some seed money from the parents.
Yeah. No, her parents are, you know, I mean, they're Harvard doctors. You know?
But she wasn't
they retired
working
to Mallorca.
Her 10 hours a day or however long she was working was to run her yoga studio that she did not build from the ground up. She wasn't working as a cook or a waitress
To save up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I do.
Okay.
What are you doing? Of course you know.
Nobody
Nobody
You've been
even
down
moves-
this rabbit hole.
Nobody even goes to NYU at 19 without and they're like, she's like, yeah, I had this tiny little room, and they're like, living with your parents. She's like, no, I have my own apartment in New York. Like,
In New York?
Yeah, at 19.
You know how much that is?
Come on.
But yeah, so we can establish like obviously she's not Spanish. She very much thinks she's Spanish. I would now like to take you to the depths of how Spanish that she thinks she is. She, as I mentioned, has 5 children. Here are their names: Carmen Gabriela, Raphael, and then this one's Thomas because her maiden name is Thomas. As the person who reported on this pointed out, that she didn't go with Tomas is impressive and commendable.
You got to get an 89 on the test.
Leonardo Angel David, Romeo Alejandro, Eduardo Paul Lucas.
Dude, there's nothing
What are we
better.
doing
There's
here?
nothing better than including your kids in the grift.
Like, I
In the
am
con.
white with a daughter named Isara, so I get it. But like, these are not named after her family members because all of her family members named fucking William.
Yeah, his name's Don.
Yeah, it's.
I saw Alec Baldwin hitting the streets to defend her too. That's I think that's one thing that you probably don't necessarily have to do as much with someone that's your age. Like if Alec Baldwin was married to a 56-year-old, I think there's a very, very small chance he would ever have to go to Twitter or Instagram to post a video defending their bona fides.
Yeah, and his was just like it wasn't like it was just like Twitter. What a fucking cesspool.
Yeah.
Like that would show her.
Yeah,
It's not for anyone else.
It's an I love my wife sticker.
And she went on there and posted like a 7-minute video where she was like, I have to correct these a lot. And she in the video is like, my name is Hillary. I was born in Boston, but like the initial thing is like, people get so confused. I talk to journalists about this stuff and like, just they print what they want to print. And then like you go to her agency's website. It's like she was born in Mallorca. Like the idea that this is like confusion amongst the press is fucking insane.
Dude,
like, she's on a podcast this year saying I'm from Mallorca.
And selling herself as such. I almost respect people that can just completely lie to themselves like that. Like to the point where they believe it, the classic Costanza line, but like she's not only believing it, she's blaming other people for the reason she believes it. And that other people believe it. And that's kind of awesome.
I just want to know
someone who lays in bed at night every night being like, God damn, I hate everything about myself. She's just like, this is great.
I am from Spain.
This is no problem. Tortilla España para desayunos.
The thing is, like, Alec, is out there defending her and everything, and I think that I would ultimately see this as like proof of, because like you say, like that she seems comfortable in her own skin, clearly lying. I would take this a little, and I understand that perspective, but like I would take this a little bit as like she seems like uncomfortable. Like. This seems like some evidence of trauma, that like you're lying to this degree. Like I don't mean trauma like that she was like hit as a kid or something, but normal people who like life is going well don't do this. So I think that ultimately in my mind it's sympathetic somewhat.
Don't.
But if you're Alec,
no, I'm not doing it.
If you're Alec, dude, no doubt she has to have lied to you over and over.
Oh, I'm confident of that. Sorry.
No problem. They're about to go on a segment.
I don't really think that it would be a huge shock to Alec Baldwin without this saga to learn that his 36-year-old wife, yoga instructor, was lying to him about something.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the final piece of the puzzle.
But don't you think if it was you, like if you found out that Kristen wasn't Cajun, wouldn't you like have time would slow down?
Yeah, but she doesn't sit there profiting off it.
But I'm
but
just
to
saying,
his
like,
point, like you would wonder, like,
to.
what else? Like, that's a pretty big thing to be like, hey, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, you're like, this is the person I love them. But that would be a little bit.
And just lies are very, like, especially this kind of thing. Like, not just like, when did you get home? And it was actually 10, and you're like, I was home by 9. Like, this sort of, like, large, complex lie. Like, I just.
Your entire identity, every shared story you've had with me, it could all be made up.
And like the feelings around it, because I remember kids, I'm sure that everyone's had this experience, kids that were like this in like elementary school, where like they would, like, I remember a kid like telling me like about the next gaming console that was going to come out, and like he was just totally making it up, it was just saying,
I told
like,
you before, there was a kid in my 8th grade class that said that he had won Marilyn Manson playing his birthday party from a Doritos bag.
There you go.
And he invited all of us, and we were all like, this party's not happening.
It's going to be great.
All right, we got to wrap up.
Okay.
All right, sorry.
That's it for tonight. The high school special is next, so until tomorrow, for everyone who's been a part of this one, I'm TC and Jake. We do thank you for watching. Good night.